Get it? Won't get it. Mr. Boogie, thank you very much for being here. I hope I can
No
reach you via
problem.
email. Like the internet is kicking your ass, bro. I see you.
Yo, it's crazy, but I did email you. So, hey,
Okay.
what's up to everybody in the panel? What's up, guys?
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, actually, I think there's one thing most people missed out when K. Michelle was speaking.
Hmm?
She was speaking about the successful black man.
Yes.
Because most black women only consider a good man when he has money. She wasn't crying because there are no good average men who make $50,000 a year. She was crying in front of a millionaire. She wasn't crying in front of a bus driver. She wasn't crying in front of a plumber. She wasn't crying in front of an electrician. So I think that's what most people missed out. So, because I'm sure every woman has met a good man.
All right, I'm just gonna pause it right there. So yeah, so in this video, it's actually reacting to it's like a panel of 6. I believe it's African, could be Southern African folks, and good brother. I've actually been watching a couple of his videos. Boogie Reacts. I'll actually put his links in the description below. But what the title of the video is like how black women like ignore like the average good guy. This even brought back to when I remember Ebony K. Williams, you know, the one who got pregnant by herself, who put it out there that she would never date a bus driver, pretty much saying that like she would never like she believes, of course, because of her wealth and her stature, that she doesn't need to date anyone who is average. And I've been saying it to the rich team out there, for the guys out there, to be an average guy in this world now, it doesn't work. This is not 30 years ago where like you could finish your university degree, do some training, and get your normal 9 to 5 job at the office, go on a holiday like a couple times in a year. You could do that. No. In this day, because the competition is fierce, you have to be the best version of yourself. Mediocrity is unacceptable. Let's continue.
Now, these days, they don't consider a good man who doesn't have money. You gotta have money for you to be considered a good man. So for me, it was very disingenuous for her to cry in front of a millionaire, but I'm sure she has met very many good men. But because they didn't have money, she didn't think they were good enough.
Where to attribute blame in one of the parties, 51%, about the state of the black family, which one would you pick? 51%, the majority.
I'll go 50.5 women.
Why is that?
Because they get approached. If I was a woman and I was getting approached by 100 different men every single year, if I couldn't pick one good one, that would be on me. You know, as men, we have to approach women. You know, so I'm going to get rejected here, get rejected 10 times, 15 times. Okay, that's on me. But if I have different types of men who are approaching me from the time I'm 21 to the time I'm 40, and I couldn't find one single one to just stay with, clearly that's a woman issue.
I mean, he's busting facts for sure. Like I said, now it's like summertime where I'm in Toronto, and like I said, the amount of like honeys that are here is crazy. And I mean, women, beautiful women there, they get stopped. I'm driving on the right, and like doing catcalls. I mean, like women get approached non-stop, and this is just a fact. I've said it before, especially in the black community, for black women specifically, is the nice guy most definitely is not something that they're attracted to. Like the clean cut guy, the one who does well, means well, he probably goes to church 2 times a week. That standard guy, which they call the square, is not attracted to them. Even if this person keeps them safe, he's a law-abiding citizen, he takes care of all of this, they're not seeing that so much attractive. So there's a lot of these women, and I've seen it many times, of they will choose the foggish one, the one who has that foggish bone in their body, opposed to the nice, squeaky clean guy. And it really F's them up, because they will sometimes, what happens on most cases is they will breed with the guy they know was not good for them, who was possibly like abusive, who was like going around with other women, who was not really good financially, they will end up having a kid with them, become a single mother, and then lowering their sexual marketplace value, then look for that nice guy who they rejected in the first place. Let's continue.
Hey, Boogie, and this is why I was snitching on Tanya. She was the it girl from 18 to 26.
She still is. She looks good.
No, I'm talking about what I saw. I'm not talking about the text. That's why Michaela needs to correct her, right? I remember we used to go separate to nightclubs, and every time she would come across, everybody was like, "Who is that giant? Who is that Amazon? Who is that person?" So I think a lot of times we say, "Oh no," because no, women, especially if they are attractive, they have a tremendous amount of opportunities. They just don't recognize it at that time. They will only recognize it 10 years later. It's like
all the men that you say that were approaching me back in the days.
Yes.
The percentage of the ones that didn't actually wanted to just fuck me, how much do you think?
All men want to fuck you.
So that's it.
Poor men want to fuck you. Rich men want to fuck you. Good men want to fuck you. Bad men want to fuck you. Men with one leg want to fuck you. Men with 3 legs.
Yeah.
Every man. No. Every man wants to have sex with you, especially if you look good in their arm. They're going to cuff you. There's a reality. There's a reality. So when we're talking about, but these men, all they wanted to do, what keeps the man is what you do after sex. Because nobody after sex that is be treated right. She's cooking, she's cleaning, she's making the man feel good, checking on him. Nah, I don't want her anymore.
I'm not saying.
He brings a very interesting point, Fatih, the one who's on the bottom right, is that there's many beautiful women. Where I am now, you see beautiful women from every different race. I'm telling you, and like I said, it's summer, so it's muy caliente. What it is now, especially with the modern women now, is they believe like just being pretty is only they have to bring to the table, and it's not like that. You have to be someone who can be very communicative, who can be supportive. Of course, like I'm not saying it's woman duties now, but just that type of like taking care of the house, making sure food's done, just being someone you want to say like this is my wife. A lot of that is lost in translation, and you can fake that God has feminism. You can fake that God has feminism for that. Let's continue.
I'm not saying that's not the truth, because it is. But how many tries do you have until actually you just dated like a bunch of men and nothing is worth it?
And there's the point.
What I'm saying.
Who are you giving yourself away to when you are in your prime?
But
and the reality is,
that's what you say. That's what you're saying. You are young. You the hit girl. Like you don't. Sometimes you don't have the maturity or the capability to look and see. Oh, this is actually a nice man. Like that happens to a lot of girls.
So it's self-inflicted, right?
Tanya.
Daddy, somebody background going.
Somebody what?
Somebody background is running YouTube.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about what I almost thought. So go ahead, Boogie, because I think you want to say something.
Yeah, so Tanya, no, I will, I'll play devil's advocate for the ladies, right? It's very hard to really pick a good man when you have so many men coming after you from the time you become, from high school, really. You have so many old, rich, broke, but I think what the issue is, there is no one teaching women how to pick. So it should be the dad, really, maybe the brothers.
Yeah, that's what I thought getting into now, because it's true.
But the question is,
100% true.
Yeah, on there. Man, that's a very, very good. They're dropping gems, more than the rich man on there. There is that type of thing called vetting that's very important, and from my experience, especially when you're coming into a family. And you're seeing them, it needs to be like a dad or a brother. I cannot explain how important it is to have that masculine presence there. It's not good enough if you go in a family and it's just the women who are venting them, because a lot of them just stand together but they're not actually able to just be direct and say, look, is this a guy that you can basically say is going to be a long term and will be able to fill in the shoes of the woman's father? And the brother or the father, or even like, let's say maybe the cousins, they will be able to detect that right away, because they know what they're like, so they can see that. But if it's women who are just sitting around and just saying like, oh, he's probably a good match, which you're probably lying just to spare your feelings, it's not the best way. And that's a very excellent point. There should be more masculine figures, either the brother, the cousin, or the father, that is able to vet this new man that you bring home and you say you want to be in a relationship with them. There should be stronger, like I say, vetting process when it comes to that. Let's continue.
Yeah, because if for every man you met, you told him, hey, let's go meet my brother, let's go meet my uncle, let's go meet my dad. Right there, that alone would qualify most guys. Most guys wouldn't want to meet your family, but most women want to make their own decisions because of female intuition. You feel me? Like, women want to make their own decisions. In fact, that sometimes women will listen to other women compared to their own brothers, compared to their own fathers. A woman will like a man, introduce him to our friends, and then the friends will be like, oh, he's ugly, oh, he's broke, and then she will leave the guy. But then the dad will say he's a good man, he's a plumber, but then she will say, my friend said he's not taking me to a $200 dinner date. So women will listen to their friends more than they listen to their men.
He's absolutely right. Yeah. A lot of them, what it is now, and I'm sure the rich team, the guys out there can understand this, a lot of these women have maybe 1, 2, 3 group chats with their girls. It could be a group chat with the girls in the neighborhood. Then group chat 2 is probably with the ones from their work. Then group chat 3 is probably the ones they went high school with. And maybe they got a fourth one for like slut tales or something, but that's beside the point. But what it is that most of the time these women are conversing. Like, if a new guy comes in the picture, they probably download the picture, they put in the group chat, and you hear comment after comment after comment. With guys, it's not necessarily like that. We have that locker room talk, which we have where we're out on there, but I've never, for me personally, I've never been in a group chat. I don't like group chats anyways. Like, I couldn't give fuck all of that, but I've never been in a group chat anytime before and conversed about like, oh, this girl, oh, she's looking snatchy, like, I'm gonna wife this and that. But these girls do this, and as Boogie even said this, they make their decision from woman to woman. Like he said, if he's ugly, if he's attractive, if he's money, if he's broke, and they'll have this kind of general type of like discussion about it, and the woman will then make a decision from what they've heard in this group chat. And it could be like a good man that's now gone just because the friends in the group chat says he wasn't worth a damn. Let's continue.
This is actually my honest opinion. What do you think is the better character to teach your daughter or teach your sister, doesn't matter, in the household, to teach you how to deal with men?
What do you think that person is?
Huh, Boogie? What do you think? Is a man or a woman?
I don't have nobody. Oh, come on, man.
Are you asking me, Tanya?
All the women came with her. All the men want to be with her. Now she's like, oh, me, I don't know what's going on. I don't get it.
You know, that's why, like, you don't take me seriously.
Don't you think it's easy for you?
Hey,
I'm actually asking like a valid question.
All right, I'll answer your question. Did you ask who is the best person to teach women how to vet a man?
Like, who do you think is the best person to teach a girl, a woman that is on development, how to deal with men? What is actually a good man, a bad man? Is a man or a woman?
It's gonna start with the dad. First of all, it's going to be a man.
So what do you think is gonna happen when you're raised by a single mother?
You're going
chances
to go
are, chances are you're gonna turn out the way your mom is.
Shania did.
And this is what I've said. The problem with the whole single mother multiplying more now than ever is that majority of the time, if it's a single mother who then has a daughter who is just talking shit about like how your dad was worthless and he wasn't shit, blah blah blah, but you still had a kid with him, that automatically gets translated to the woman. and they will usually repeat the actions of their mother. So it's just almost a domino effect usually when that happens. And single mothers, no matter how much they glorify and feminism, like I need a man and all this stuff, all that is just creating these broken homes. And usually most of the cases when it's a single mother who then has a son, most of that son is not in a stable position. He goes to school and he sees the other kids who have the mother and the dad, the biological parents there, and he sees like kind of left out, like where's daddy at? So it automatically brings that pain into the school, maybe into the friends, or even at the home. So I guess some people really don't really see in depth detail the effects of what a single household can cause. Continue.
Did you add male friends that actually gave you advice and you didn't listen?
Oh, for God's sake.
Stop doing that.
For God's sake, really? Do they live in my household? Are they my dad or my brother? That's not the same thing.
Now, this is what happens, right? And Miss A can literally prove this. When you like a guy, you hide him from your dad and your brothers. There's a most women will hide them because they don't want that, that's pressure.
Most women want a certain aesthetic of a man that they think that they want in their head. Because I've had friends and they'll run into great men, like army, they marriage minded, they have a 5-year plan, and they'll ignore those men for the man who they think has the aesthetic that.
She basically put it out there that a lot of these chicks, and like I said, I've been with them all. They have this type of short-term thinking. They'll meet a guy who, as I said, we talked about the Pookie and Ray Ray. They know this guy isn't shit, but maybe he's a roughneck, he's abusive, maybe he has had they've talked about him, like he's very, he probably is big, he has very good in bed, all of this stuff, and it's a short-term thing. This is someone who's really not going to go the distance. And as she said, there will be good men. I remember Dr. Umar even talked about this. There will be a good man who needs a 2-year, maybe 2 to 5-year plan of what he's trying to assemble to make his empire. A lot of those women don't want to hear it, especially in the black community. Some black women will be like, this guy's a bum, he's always working, he's boring, he never has nowhere to take me out to a fine dining restaurant. Let me go with this dude who's always available, and he's going from this woman, he's going to woman, but he's always around. Let me go with this one. And those are the guys, they'll never introduce them to their parents. Scared of what their dad will actually say to them. This is a guy who's not going to be good for you. This is a guy who's not going to be good for you. Let's continue.
Because your dad knows better. Your dad knows me. It was me probably before. He knows, he can recognize, oh shit, I know this dude is, because I was him when I was 23. So I think women hide the guys that they like from their brothers and dads early on their 20s, and only on their late 20s and 30s that they actually start to rely on them, but now the damage is already done. So even if I want to help you, right, if you are addicted to a toxic relationship, you're only going to leave when it smacks you 7 times. Me saying leave is not going to work because woman will be abused by a man, clearly. And she's like, you know what? Let me go back just 1 more week. Let me just have one conversation with him on the phone, because nothing will happen. And now the man has the opportunity to crawl his way back. And now all of a sudden you are literally with the same man you were complaining about.
What he said there, it happens a lot, especially in the African community. I wasn't born in Africa. Of course, I'm from Sierra Leone, or if people are just tuning in, comment, share, and subscribe. But my background's from Sierra Leone. As I was there, because I've traveled there numerous times, the stories I would hear of women who would be getting physically abused, sexually assaulted, just being treated like gutter trash, they would still go back to them. Because again, as we've talked in these group chats, especially with these chicks in Africa, they all act as one. And most of the time, in Creole, they say "na for bien." It means to be patient. to be patient and like, oh, all men are like this. Like, what else are you gonna find? You should go back. But a lot, and this always, I always say this, and a lot of these women, they know exactly what they're gonna get into with this man who is no good. He's gonna treat them like shit, beat the fuck out of them, but they will still return back. They will hide them from their fathers if they're present or any masculine figure in their home, because they don't want to get them to tell them the truth. Like, you need to get away from this guy. As Fatih was saying, like, nah, this is how I used to behave when I was his age. I don't want this to happen to my daughter. And so they'll stop it right there. Let's continue.
Women are only going to learn by themselves, even with good guidance, because you know what men's of yesterday and brothers did? I don't see you with them, and if I see you with them, we are going to beat his ass. There's no optional. Go ahead, Perry.
I agree with you.
Paradise, go ahead, and then we're going to wrap it up, friends. Go ahead.
Nah, I don't really got nothing to say, pal. You just cook because, like, I feel like sometimes women don't bring the guy around the family because she wants to talk. Not all women, I'm just saying she wants to be able to talk to different guys. And so also you gotta hold some women accountable too, because the family's gonna say, hold on, what about the last guy? What about the last guy?
It's shame, yeah.
She don't want that shame.
She wants to bring a guy that is for sure, because if he brings everybody that she's having sex with, by the seventh part, hey, South.
Yeah, it's a fact. The thing is, like, if we're keeping it real, a lot of girls out here are doing their things. You understand? It's really the ones who are super innocent, the one you probably find working in the library. You would never suspect her for being like experimentation or like being devious and like jumping from men to men and men. She's very low key. Those ones you would never suspect at it. And as he even said there is a shame, especially as I talked about. I spent time in Mexico. In Mexico, la familia es todo. The family structure in Mexico, and I believe in Latin America, is a big thing. So for a woman to start bringing men after men after men after men, especially in this traditional setup, is seen as a shame. Especially not just from the mothers, but the mothers, like the whole generation. So they don't want to see that. So as he said, a lot of girls are doing their things on the side, and usually they will bring a guy when they believe it's the right dude. But sometimes that will be too late. There may be good guys out there, but you just didn't pay him no attention at that time. Boom.
That's what my mom said. Oh, you know, I'm almost retired, right? I said, yeah. Oh, I want a grandson. I said, can be by a white woman. It can be by a white woman, gypsy, black woman. I don't care. I want a grandson. And then she went back talking about what I used to do when I was younger. And my house was a revolving door, to the point where I started to feel guilty and I started to go to hotels and shit like that because I don't wanted to bring them home. But the reality, once again, is that the difference between man and woman. Mm-hmm. A woman can never move like I move without not having like a strong father figure, or like, as you can do that shit. Like, you can do it. That's why women, for the most part, never sleep in their houses. They go to the guy's house. Why? Because they rather go to his family, right, and sleep in a 3-bedroom apartment where they have to be mumbling because nobody can hear nothing and they're scared. Then just go to your house, present it to the dad, present it to the brother, because now this is out of your hands. Now I have to see what's going on. Now I have to talk with him. And I'll say this, and I apologize to my older sister, right? My older sister had a kid later in life, like in the later 30s, 40s. The father of the kid had 4 baby mamas before her. Do you think she didn't know? Do you think do you think I had the opportunity to say something? Do you think my dad had the opportunity to say something? No. We met the dude. I'm pregnant. Wait, what?
See, so look at that. You understand? So as he's saying, his sister, who was expecting her first child, was from a dude who had already had 4 baby mothers before. She knowing this, like, this is not going to be a good idea. And as I'm talking about that short-term thing, like, okay, he's just made 4 other women pregnant, and now you're the 5th. what is the likelihood that he is going to stay long term for that young kid? And that's just going to be another single mother. And what she did, which some women can do, is she kept it a secret to the brother and the father. So they imagine they just knock on the door, they come in, and it says, boom, I'm pregnant, and this is the guy, already stopping any type of like action that could have stopped this relationship from taking place. Boom.
Why she didn't come to us and ask, do you think this is a good idea? Because on the bottom of her mind, she knew it was not a good idea, and she was going to be the fifth baby mama. So I can get, like, you have a structure, you have male brothers, a male father that is married, you have all this structure. If you are dating somebody that you deem is not approved by the family, you are going to hide him, because it's not about what they want, it's not about your kid have a father, it's about you and what you feel like it. So she got what she wanted, and then she complained about it. Is it solved now? Yes, because there were certain situations that got together, and now she has a father figure, all that shit, the kid is growing and all that. But for the most part, you can tell me that women don't know what they're doing when they are actually having sex and having kids with these men that have a terrible track record, because if you are that blind, you shouldn't have rights at all. You shouldn't vote. You shouldn't nothing. And I don't believe women are that dumb. Actually, I believe women at this point are as strong as men, if not strong, as smart as men, if not.
Yeah. I was even speaking to someone about this. When a woman does decide to give consent and say, okay, I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna let this guy impregnate me, I would say 80% of the time, most of these women know what this guy's track record is. How this guy's gonna be like a father, will he be financially stable? They know that shit before. So I never tolerate that when Mizo starts to make complaints and say like, oh, I should have never had his kid. What was I thinking? He like forced it upon me. It's all this victim stuff. And I keep saying, in the black community, a lot of times you see black mothers start complaining like he wasn't shit, like the father was a deadbeat, all this stuff is deadbeat on there. But when you really kind of understood it, it was like, well, why did you have a kid with him in the first place? I'm gonna say people can change. I understand that totally, but it's not the majority.
You can be the president of motherfucking Germany. You can be an astronaut. You can be all, but you don't know that a guy with 4 baby mamas you're going to be the fifth. Respectfully,
yeah,
we kind of what's going on.
Fighty, I guess.
Okay. So guys, I'm gonna stop your video right here on this one. As I said, I think it's a very interesting topic. As I said, when I talked a lot about this in that Dr. Omar video of when especially black women are finding like their mate and saying like, this is the one I'm gonna let impregnate me, and this is the one who's going, this is the man I've chosen now to basically be head of the table, Roman Reigns, and then be like my father figure in my life. A lot of the times they're always thinking short term, and they're not thinking like, how's this guy gonna be like in 5 years? Like, is he gonna be able to take care of me? Is he a player? Is he abusive? Because you will mostly see these signs before. But if you're thinking short term, you're never really gonna have that family that maybe you came from. And like I said, it just takes one broken home to just make more broken homes. It's contagious out here. But guys, let me know what you think about this video. I thought it was pretty much excellent. As I said, I put the brother's links in the description. Go subscribe to him. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, what are you waiting for, folks? Get your paper right and update your, you know the rest.